Hey everybody, how's it going? So there are some older videos I've done where I go over the fact that Apple is always looking to discredit independent repair shops and make them look bad. One of the times I made this point was with Error 53. Error 53 was an issue where if you change the home button on the phone would continue to work fine for up to a year on end. It was only once you updated the operating system that you would actually brick the phone into matter that was unrecoverable. And rather than come out and say, this was just a debugging measure that was put in that we forgot to take out on production devices, they said that this was done for security, and if you went to an Apple store with this issue, they would tell you, oh yeah, the independent repair shop probably screwed it up, rather than telling the truth. I also go over this in a different video where a new version of macOS stopped allowing screens that used to work just fine just because there was something like the EDID code had changed. So you could have a computer that works fine that you got fixed at an independent repair shop, and it could be using the same LP133WQ1SJEV that Apple put inside that computer. But if it didn't have the EDID code programmed at the factory by them, the screen would stop working. And rather than tell the truth, if you took that to an Apple store, they'd just say the independent repair shop screwed you. There was one additional experience the other day where someone had received a machine that had the stain gate issue. I don't know how many of you are familiar with stain gate. This is where the screen just kind of starts to the front layer starts to come off and everything starts to look like kind of scratched and like shit. And this person wasn't aware of that, and they got it back like that, and they thought we did it. And I explained, no, we didn't do this. A lot of the retinas we get come in like this. We didn't touch the screen, anything like that. And what was interesting to me is even if I actually wanted to do the customer service friendly thing and replace this gentleman's screen on the house, or do it for just part cost, just kind of go back and forth, explain the issue and say, listen, I feel bad that this happened. Here's what I can do for you. I'm actually not able to do that because while with many other machines, screens are available for many years after the machine is no longer in service because the manufacturer may still produce it, for this machine, LG won't sell it to us or several of my brokers. So I can't buy them, which means that even if I actually wanted to just eat the cost of a part that I did not break just to allow my customer to leave satisfied, I can't. I can't replace your screen at any price because they're not available. And stuff like this just, like every year, it just gets harder and harder and harder. And it makes me wonder if I've already lost. There are many times where I've mentioned in this channel that Apple will put together a device in a manner that makes it difficult or close to impossible to repair, and then say that, yeah, it's just those unqualified, idiot, independent repair people that are at fault after they have created the problem that makes us look stupid. So this is an email that I received from a customer. I just like to read through something here that I got. So on August 14th, we received one of the newest A2179 models that someone wanted fixed because they said Apple wanted too much. You must also keep in mind that when Apple fixes this computer, your data is gone. So we told them a price, and they said that, they weren't sure if this is something that they would be able to do. They said, can you keep it? And once I'm prepared to do it, can you fix it? And we said, sure, absolutely, fine. You can leave it here for a bit. So we fast forward a little bit, and they said, I was informed by Apple if you complete the repair, I lose warranty. Just send it back and I'll have them fix it. And we said, sure, totally fine. Just invoice for return shipping. And they say, oh, wait, never mind. I want you to fix it. I changed my mind. So then we finally open it up to repair it. Now, we have fixed several of these new MacBook Airs, and we fixed several of the new 16-inch as well. It depends on the problem. Some are fixable, some are not, as with every board. However, this particular computer wound up not being fixable. It needed a CD3217 as well as certain other ICs on the board that are not available. This is a USB-C MUX. I go over it in many of my videos. The older one is available. I can buy it. The new one is not, and if I ask Texas Instruments for a distributor for it, they just tell me we can't sell this to you. It is not some sort of secret chip that has incredible security features. This is literally the chip that's responsible for, hey, charge the battery. Hey, output DisplayPort to the screen. Nothing crazy here. Now, we said this. Hi. We've checked out your logic board, and unfortunately it appears to be unfixable. The chips that are necessary for this board repair are unavailable due to being proprietary and are not being sold anywhere in the world right now. We do not charge for boards where we are unable to repair them. You would just be on the hook for return shipping. We can send you an invoice for return shipping, or you can send us a shipping label to return the machine. Do let us know how you would like to proceed, and our apologies that we were unable to do much for your board. The response from the customer. Please just send me the invoice so I can send Apple. I was told you've had my computer to tell me that you cannot fix. Please send it back to me like today or tomorrow, whenever, so I can get this to computer to Apple. I literally just wasted $60 that could have went to my repair. I told you guys it was liquid damage and what kind of computer and year. It was $30 to send it to you and now $25 to return. Disappointed, I would have never sent. No worries, in caps. I will pay invoice and I will need my computer back immediately in the way I sent it to you. I am irate. No worries, I will not be using your service ever again. Obviously aggravated from the caps and all that stuff. So I said, I sent this because I am a pretty bad people person and an even worse customer service person. Hi. I have no way of knowing prior to performing the logic board repair what specific chip on the board is the issue. We have fixed many of these boards in the past when the issue is with a chip other than the CD3217. In your case, the issue is with that chip, a chip that I cannot purchase because Apple goes out of their way to ensure that the manufacturer does not sell it to us. This isn't an issue of us not wanting to fix your board. We'd love to, but Apple explicitly forbids them from making the chip available to us, even if we would like to pay, which is different from what they did on former machines. I have no way of knowing if this is the chip that must be fixed remotely without examining the machine. To not accept this machine for repair when many are fixable simply because a small percentage are not would be denying repair and data recovery to thousands of people who do have fixable boards. I empathize with how aggravating it is to ship a machine across the country that is not fixable, but I am confused as to why you are directing anger towards us instead of to the company that explicitly goes out of their way to ensure that we cannot buy the parts we need from Mouser or DigiKey or any other parts vendor. If you require someone to be irate with, I understand and volunteer. And then we send the return shipping invoice, which in this case was actually $20, not $25. Don't know why they spent $30 to send it to us. It is possible to send it considerably cheaper, especially since this is one of the lighter machines. Now, there's really no need to get into the ins and outs of this particular customer experience. Have I been the best business owner? No. Am I the best manager? No. Am I the best technician? No. But one thing that I think I can give myself credit for over the past 7-8 years is making public and common knowledge the amount of effort that Apple goes through to ensure that people like us in this entire field are incapable of fixing their products. The amount of effort that goes into ensuring we cannot get access to what it is we need to do our job. And I think I have done a good job of making that available, that information public, as best as I can to millions and millions of people every single month who watch my channel. The interesting part here is that even in 2020, at the end of 2020, if I can't fix something, not because I'm a bad tech, not because I don't want to, not because I'm going to charge too much money, but because I cannot buy the very chip that I need to do it, and the company responsible for it gets none of the blame, that actually put me in that situation. I hate to say it, but Apple kind of won there. In fact, I think they are going to win more and more into the future. Now I know what you may be thinking. Louis, how can you not find this? Can't you find a donor machine somewhere? Can't you buy a machine that's used and broken for $400 on eBay to get that chip for this $400 repair? There's a thing called profit and loss in business, and you don't want to spend $400 to get a donor machine for one chip that may not even work because it's on eBay. That's not how this works. These are machines that at this point we can't even buy donor boards for. Older machines, we can at least buy donor boards. We have to reball it, and we'll curse as we reball the chips from the donor board that we spent $13 $25 on, but we'll do it. Can't get donor boards to these. Can't get donor chip. Every now and then we'll have a customer that recycles something with us, and that chip may work that's on that machine. But do we really have enough of that for the new machines to have this be a sustainable business model when we're getting 30 to 60 machines in a day? Not really. I have predicted in prior videos that as time goes on, we are going to be more and more discredited as repair technicians because we are going to look stupid as a result of the fact that we cannot do our job when the manufacturer engages in these type of anti-competitive, anti-repair, anti-ownership of your own device practices of going out of their way to ensure that when a charged chip dies in your $3,000 device, you're fucked. and you have no choice other than to pay their overpriced repair cost or to buy a new one. And what I find ridiculously interesting here, and the reason that I consider this to be a win for Apple, and I genuinely tip my hat to Apple for being able to make this happen, particularly Tim Cook, is that the customer is not in any way, shape, or form irate at the company that created this situation. They're not irate at the company that in 2020 still creates devices that lack the basic liquid resistance that a ThinkPad had in 2005. They're not irate at the company that has gone out of their way to produce the product in a way where we cannot fix it. Not because we're bad, because the company refuses to make the part available or allow the manufacturer to make it available. They're mad at the repair shop. Again, whether or not we are the best repair shop, no, we're not. We are human. I make many, many mistakes in many, many areas. And over the past year and a half, for reasons I prefer to not get into on when I'm speaking to people I don't know, in some ways I may have mentally checked out a little bit. However, in this case, in this specific case, this has nothing to do with the lack of ability of the people I've hired. It has nothing to do with us not being friendly. It has nothing to do with us charging too much, nor does it have anything to do with our inability to diagnose the issue or be able to keep proper inventory because of our own internal practices. This has everything to do with a company making a conscious decision to ensure that the customer's device cannot be fixed by telling the manufacturers of the chips that go into their computer, make sure these do not wind up on a website that allows people like Lewis to buy them. And after they do that just like straight up heel move, people on aggregate still believe that it is the independent repair shop they should be irate with, rather than the manufacturer that created a device that way, that put together a business model that just doesn't allow you to choose who works on your own device. And I gotta say, I've been working at this for a really long time. I uploaded my video on ICE in December of 2013. I started uploading more Right to Repair stuff in 2014. I started going to senators and congresspeople's office in 2015. I started doing public testimony in 2017. I have traveled all around the country and spoken with politicians on both sides of the aisle. Democrats, libertarians, Republicans, red states, blue states. It doesn't matter to me. I have shown up and advocated on behalf of farmers, on behalf of people who work in the medical field, where even if they get Right to Repair, it doesn't do a damn thing for me. I have been pushing this boulder uphill for a ridiculously long time. However, at the end of the day, it's not even just the politicians, not all that. The average end consumer still believes that when we are unable to repair their device, that we suck, not that the manufacturer sucks, for putting us in that position to begin with their purposeful actions. And I don't know how else to say it. You know, it's been a really long time. I've made virtually no progress when it comes to Right to Repair. And the supply chains for chips, for screens, for basic parts that go onto an audio board, for connectors and things that I used to be able to have access to, have all but shriveled up and gone away. I have no idea what it is that I'm going to do with the next set of generations of machines, because the vice grip on the supply chain has gotten tighter and tighter and tighter, to the point where for products that have been on the market for over 2 years, I don't have access to a damn thing. This video is just a really long-winded way to say I believe Apple is winning, and at this moment, it genuinely kind of feels like they won.